Lionsgate, you can go ahead and cancel that Power Rangers movie you're working on. Because Disney just beat you to it and did 10 times better than you ever could. Hi there, it's Aaron, Professor Thorgi here again to talk to you about comics, movies, and all things geeky. Today I'm talking to you about Big Hero 6, the new film from Disney. It's from the same team that brought us Wreck-It Ralph and Frozen. Both of those are great films, I love them both. And it is based on a Marvel property. Now, a lot of you might not have heard of Big Hero 6, and there's a reason for that. They have appeared in I think it's maybe 18 issues. It's less than 20. It is low, the number of issues that they've appeared in. From what I have heard, apparently this team said we want to make a Marvel movie, and Disney was basically like, well, we're saving all those for the big screen, for all the live action things, for their cinematic universe. So they gave them 5 different D-list characters that they could choose from. They went through and they liked Big Hero 6 the best, which makes me really want to know what the other 4 ones were that they passed on. Was there a chance we almost had a Dr. Voodoo animated film? I want to know what the other options were. So they went with Big Hero 6, and Big Hero 6 in the comics is this Japanese government-funded superhero team. It's very different from what you're going to see in the movie. In fact, it's so different that Marvel actually came out and said, we are not launching a Big Hero 6 series because our Big Hero 6 is so different from what is in the movie that people would come into comic book stores, ask to read the new Big Hero 6 book, and read and go, what the hell is this? This is not what I came here for. This is not the movie that I saw. But anyway, I have zero exposure to the Big Hero 6 in the comics. Like I said, they have been in so few books, and I have so many others to read. So I'm only going to talk to you about the movie, and this movie is fun. That is what it is. It is purely fun. It is just chock full every single second with laughs, with cheers, with action. It is fantastic. I've heard a lot of people complain that this is a very basic story, and honestly it is kind of a basic story, but here's the thing. Yes, I want originality in films. Yes, I want things I've never seen before, but if you can give me stuff that I have seen a dozen times before, but make it fun and make it entertaining, I don't care. Yeah, every single year I want some original stuff, but if you can give me that same thing every now and again that I've seen before, but still make it really fun and exciting and enjoyable, then I will take it and I will be happy with it. And I was happy with this. This was so much fun. There's so many good things I can talk to you about this. Like I said, the humor is great. The action is fantastic. This is one where the animators are really the stars of the show. This is one where you are just on the edge of your seat. You are there. It is a ride. This is a ride. The Big Hero 6 ride that they build at Disneyland is just them showing you this movie. That is what it is. They don't actually need to build anything for that. They've accomplished it already. And I love the characters. I do. I will admit that this is mostly about Hero. This is the main character, Hero. He is this little super genius, and some things happen. I'm not going to spoil too much, but he ends up teaming up with his brother's friends, who are all these super nerds, to try and fight the supervillain, and he ends up becoming friends with his brother's ex-medical robot. It's this big inflatable balloon. Baymax, we've all seen it. And it's one of those, it's like How to Train Your Dragon. I've heard people saying that it's ripping it off. It's not. It's, it's How to Train Your Dragon, Clifford the Big Red Dog. It's everything since the dawn of time when it comes to children's television and movies, where it is the kid befriends something that isn't quite human. And it's fantastic. I love it. I've never seen anything quite like the friendship that they have with Baymax here. We've all seen the boy and his robot before, but we've never seen a robot who really did want to help, who really was there to try and be helpful, but at the same time was still very stiff. We've seen the cool robot trying to help out the kid. We've seen the kid trying to help the stiff, emotionless robot. We've never seen this unique balance before that we get with this, and I love it. They build it at just the right pace. Baymax learns to become friends with him at just the right speed and the right trajectory. I don't know what I'm doing with my hand here. But as I said, I do wish that the supporting characters got a little bit more attention. Like, none of them really have arcs. Which, hey, maybe they're setting that up for the sequel. But yeah, this is Hero and Baymax's story, and the other 4 members of Big Hero 6 are just kind of there. In fact, that was really, like, I had very few complaints about this film, actually, but that was one of them, just the fact that I wish we had gotten a little bit more on the rest of the team. And also, the villain's very creepy, has a great design. I really dig his motivations, but the motivations, they come out nowhere. Like, when they reveal why the villain is a villain, it's an entire other movie that happened off camera, and it just gets shoved in there out of nowhere. Like, there's no hints to it at all. So they could have worked on that a little bit, but end of the day, this is so much fun. I cannot recommend it enough. This is one of those things that Disney, you know, they wanted to show that, hey, man, when we do the animated stuff, we know what we're doing still, no matter with what genre. We can tackle the superhero thing and still get that. And they really did. And make no mistakes about it, this is still a Disney film. This isn't like Marvel just came in and said, hey, we're just gonna make one of our live action things, but hand-drawn. Hand-drawn, no one's doing that. Disney worked all their Disney magic in this. Because, I mean, not only is Baymax such a great cartoon character that they created, but every Disney film out there knows when to make you cry. It knows how to tug on those heartstrings, and there is, when it gets to the sad moment in this movie, there were 2 grown-ass men on both sides of me, and they were just bawling at it. Like, not even trying to hide it, just like tears streaming down their faces, them having to like wipe it all away. I wasn't doing that because I'm a man. I'm kidding, I cry in all movies at all times. But yeah, it was so, just hit you right here, right in the hammer. That's where it got you. Listen, I was never like a big fan of Power Rangers or anything. I mean, I got the appeal of it, don't get me wrong, when I was a kid I enjoyed the show, but as I got older, I wasn't one of those guys who held on to it and went, no, you guys don't understand how good this is. No, I thought Power Rangers was freaking stupid when I grew up and became an adult. But as I watched this, it really reminded me of when I was a kid, because like there is a moment where every single member of the team is shouting out their special catchphrase and the name of their attack. And I know some jaded people out there who are going like, oh, well, they were just doing that so the action figures could have something to yell out. I honestly don't think so. I think that they were doing that because they were clearly trying to go for that kind of thing. I don't know the name of those old shows, but you know, the Power Rangers, the Masked Rider, those ones like that. I think they were going for that feel. And if I told you the names of the attacks and like the stuff that they were yelling out, you'd go, oh, that sounds stupid. But when you're watching it, you're there, you're in it, and you're like, that's awesome. Like, you want to give and cheer, you know, like, I should be watching this at home in PJs with some breakfast cereal on a Saturday morning, because it is the only film I've seen in a long time that really gave me that feeling. Like, this is a movie that is perfect for kids, but also perfect for people who are kids at heart. And I'm wearing a Thorgi shirt right now. I'm a kid at heart. Trust me, that's how it is. And also, like I said, big ups to the animation department on this. They knew what they were doing, especially when it came to the designs. I know so many people who have been complaining about the similarities in the way that Disney designs their characters. And yeah, Disney has a common theme in like the size of the eyes and the size of the cheeks and things like that. This is the most variety that I have seen in a group of Disney characters. And one of the things I really dug about their approach to this film is that it takes place in this imaginary land of San Francisco, which is like part San Francisco, part Tokyo, obviously. But you can tell early on that the entire idea of what they're going for is this like, what if all cultures kind of live together? And I love that out of this team of 6 people, you know, one of them's a robot, but out of the remaining 5, there's an Asian boy, Asian woman, Hispanic woman, white man, and black man. They really were just trying to bring like everyone together. They're trying to show that this is kind of like that ideal world where all cultures kind of live together. Everyone is together on this. And also one of the other things I absolutely love that this movie is pushing forward is that this movie is going to get so many kids asking for science kits for Christmas. This is one of those movies that makes science cool. This is the Neil deGrasse Tyson of animated films. This movie, you know, listen, I love fantasy, I love the power of the heart overcomes all and all that stuff. Listen, that is amazing. I'm also glad that this movie gave kids a movie that was just like, listen man, science is kick-ass. science is awesome. There's a little boy or girl sitting in a theater right now watching this movie, and one day they're going to go on and be the person who builds the ship that goes to Mars. Okay, I love that this film really did just go, science is where it's at. So yeah, I don't really have a rating system for movies yet. I'll work on something, but for now I'll just use the 10-point scale that I use for comics. I'm giving this a 9. Like I said, it's deeply flawed, the script has a lot of problems to it, it is kind of basic, but it is so fun that you don't care about those things. I'm not going to say that this is, you know, one of the best animated films of all time, but it's one of the most fun. It is one of the most fun films I've seen this year, and you know what? Sometimes when you go to the theater, that is all you want, and that's what they were going for with it, and they succeeded, and that is what I will grade it on. How well they succeeded for what they aimed at. They aimed for fun. It was fun. 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 Boom! Post-credits scene. Okay, normally I don't come back and record anything else after I've already recorded, but since yesterday, it's been 24 hours since I recorded that last little segment, as you can tell by my fresh 5 o'clock shadow that's starting to come in. I've gone and I saw the movie again, and I had a couple of other thoughts that I wanted to add in here. Number one, my major complaint with the film, as I said, it was the fact that when we get to the motivation for the villain, it just comes out of nowhere. Like, it was something that almost seemed like it happened in a totally different movie. Like, something that no one could have guessed at. There was no groundwork laid for it at all. I watched it a second time, and the second time, I actually did pick up on some stuff. They didn't do that great of a job of laying it in there, but I'm going back and changing my statement that they didn't do any work. There is actually some stuff in there, and when you watch it the second time, you will actually kind of catch it and go, oh, shoot, I get that now when he says that thing. Did I spoil it by saying it's a he? Anyway. But the other thing that I wanted to say is that I realized something watching this that makes me like it so much more. Like I said, I love so many of the messages that are in this film, but one that I did not talk about is, and this is a minor spoiler for anyone, if you've seen the trailer, it's not a spoiler for you. They talk about it in the trailer. But if you have somehow managed to avoid everything about this movie and still want to see it, then tune out now. But one of the things that I love about this is that this is a movie about the main character hero dealing with loss. And loss is something that has been in a lot of Disney movies. You know, there are tons of princesses who have, you know, dead parents. You know, we've all seen like The Lion King, which was all about, you know, Simba's father dying and then him kind of growing up and becoming a man. But this is really, aside from Up, this is the only Disney film I can think of that actually, the whole message of it is loss. And Up, you know, it was about an older person. This is the only animated film that I can really think of in recent history that is all about loss and dealing with that and working through that, and it's from a kid's point of view. I was really impressed with that. I think that that is a really important thing that, you know, not tons of films should be about, but there should be a film out there that is about that and is about working through it. So many times we see, you know, these animated films where someone has a dead relative or, you know, a parent of theirs has died, and that serves as like a minor motivation for something, or it deals as some kind of a backstory or explanation for why they behave a certain way. But this whole movie is really about them working through that. It's about the process. They bring up multiple things that, you know, have to do with working through something like that. And I was just really impressed with the fact that they did that. I honestly can't tell you how important I think that this film is going to be to a lot of kids who have to suffer through something like this. And the fact that they took something so serious and they turned it into an absolutely just crazy fun superhero movie, I think that's amazing. That impresses me to no end. So thank you very much. I hope you guys enjoy it half as much as I did. It is a truly fun movie to go and see. Thank you, and come back next time. Blah, blah, blah.